Okay. I'd like to call this the Wednesday, October 6th special meeting of the Tecumseh Police Services Board to order. I note that we have one regrets. It's for our Vice Chair, Paul Sweet, could not be here. Otherwise, everyone is here, and we're being supported by Sean Firth on IT, and obviously Ellen is our recording secretary. So with regard to the agenda, is there any declaration of pecuniary interest by any member of the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to item D, the approval of the agenda. I've also been asked by Ellen to note that this is a special meeting, so there will be no expansion of this agenda. It's a one item meeting. Moved by Deputy Mayor McNamara, seconded by Mark Gomes. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, we're on to now the new business, which is the Essex County OPP application for a mobile crisis response team grant. And I am going to turn the meeting over, I believe, to Blake Coho and to Stephanie Beulah, if that's okay, unless Glenn, you have an introduction you'd like to make.
Yeah, well, yeah, first of all, just very brief. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And just for the benefit of the board members, I did reach out to Chair Hales last week. When this opportunity came up, it was important that we meet sooner than later due to the time requirements that Blake and Stephanie will reference you. So Chair Hales was good enough to come and see me and receive a briefing from both Blake and Stephanie. So this is a good news story. For sure. So we're going to just turn it over now to Blake and Stephanie, who are have the expertise on this, and they'll explain exactly what we're going to be doing.
So good afternoon, and I really appreciate everyone meeting on short notice. I know that you're extremely busy. So I'm Constable Blake Coe with OPP, and Stephanie Beulah is with Hotel du Grace Healthcare, just for the record. Some of this you might have heard before, but I really want to go down and make sure that everyone has a comprehensive overview. So as you know, in Essex County, we have two mental health and police teams that are in addition to myself and Stephanie, which is a mental health response unit. These other teams are called the Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team and the Youth Crisis Response Team. So MCERT and YCERT for short. These teams have different operational functions that best support each other. Mental Health Response Unit provides follow-up for adults after the fact with a plainclothes police officer, like I'm dressed now. And I work with a social worker, Stephanie Beulah, from Hotel du Grace Healthcare. Where it's different is MCERT responds to calls for service by way of 911 with a uniformed officer in a marked car with a social worker. They do not provide any follow-up because we do that. The YCERT team is, again, a uniformed officer in a marked car that responds to calls for service and provides follow-up for specifically people under the age of 18 years old. These teams work seamlessly with each other without a person or a client knowing what the function is, and we take care of people young to old. Our partnership in all these programs are with Hotel du Grace Healthcare. Our MCERT and YCERT teams became operational in April of 2019. They were started as a result of funding from SolGen grants, which you approved back then, and that provided these two initiatives. These teams will continue after that grant with the support of Hotel du Grace Healthcare to support the people that live in your community. There's a request we would like to make of this board. To further support these mental health teams, there's currently another grant opportunity from the Solicitor General. This grant would offer the ability to fund a part-time crisis worker salary. It covers salary, training, equipment needs, but not enough for a full-time crisis worker. This would allow a person to provide coverage for us 7 days a week and allow our MCERT team, or the team with a uniformed officer that responds to calls for service through 911 with a uniformed officer in a marked cruiser. This funding only allows for the funding of the crisis worker salary Again, nothing is provided to police. This would be for 2 years, ending in 2023, and it would begin immediately upon being approved by the government for a total of $240,000. So what I would like to do is to ask a request for this board to support that and pass a motion. The only thing that we would need to support this grant is the signature of the chairperson and approval of the board on one piece of paper to be submitted to the SolGen. We have already completed that grant on your behalf. The town of Kingsville has unanimously agreed to support this project as they do now and provide the funding support to us. So there would be no additional need for any town to take any action or expense thereof. I know at our previous meeting, you had invited us, and I thank you for that. And that was on September 9th. There was a letter that you unanimously asked to send into government, and you asked for some of the details to support that application. This does not need to be part of that. I will provide you this grant, which does have that information for you to be able to draft that letter of support. And again, we do appreciate that very much. Just to give you a perspective of what this team does, our current MCERT team alone diverts 65% of the mental health and addiction calls for service away from the emergency room and a criminal justice system. Between April and November of 2020 alone, they've attended 166 calls for service that they either attended or assisted with. They apprehended at a rate of 20% of the people that they've dealt with, but moreover, 100% of those people were admitted to hospital. And our MCERT team spends on average 30 minutes less than a uniform officer, but with only one officer because they're working with a social worker. So that's the information I wanted to provide to you. I really want to turn it over to Stephanie Beulah as well. She may have a few comments.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having us today. And I'd just like to express our gratitude, and hopefully you'll support the motion going forward. If you have any questions, please ask us.
All right, I will open it up for questions right now if there are any. I think our board has done this before with other grants, so I think we're very familiar with what is required of us. I don't know if anyone, I see no, your worship, you're kind of, you're happy. I'm happy too with what I'm hearing. All right, in that case, I would like someone to make a motion that the Police Service Board of the town of Tecumseh support the application. I think Joe, by the Essex County OPP to the Ministry of Solicitor General for a mobile crisis response team enhancement grant for 2021, 2022, and 2022-2023 grant cycle, and that the members thereof be authorized to sign the same grant proposal. I'm looking for a mover. Moved by Mayor McNamara, seconded by
support.
Deputy Ketty supports. All in favor? Done. Very good. Okay. Ellen, you have my signature electronically, and I think to expedite this, I believe you could apply that to the application support document that's been provided for you. That's okay. I think so. Right, I would note item F, that our next meeting is Thursday, October the 14th at 4:30. And I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. Your worship, seconded by. We need a seconder. I've got some blanks. Seconded by Mayor McKinney. All in favor? All in favor? Thank you so much. We are done.
I don't know. The deputy mayor sounds like he's in a tin can somewhere.
We cannot say because there are OPP present where he is while he is attending the meeting. Thanks, everybody. Sign off. Bye.
All right.